Hello everyone, it's Mr. Wolf here, and in this video I'm going to be going over planning investigations, specifically the success criteria of constructing a data table. Alright, so some of the data tables we might make in this class might seem complicated. So for instance, here's going to be the final data table we're going to construct in this video. Alright, but I want to really highlight that every data table is going to start off simply like this. A column for your independent variable and a column for your dependent variable. If I switch back to our more complicated data table, notice the bolding here, right? There is still just one column for my independent variable. There's some stuff in between, but there's still also just another column for my dependent variable. So even though this one's more complicated, what they both have in common, right, are there's two main columns, those two main four squares. All right, so now let's see, how do we get from this starting table to my finished product? All right, so the first thing I want to do is instead of just saying independent variable and dependent variable, let's actually define our independent and dependent variable. Now, if we're doing the experiment, does fatigue affect free throw shooting, right, like I've gone over in past videos, then our independent variable is going to be the condition before shooting. Right? You might think like fatigue, but this is going to be an overarching category that's going to include the running and the being at rest. So I'm being general and saying just the condition before shooting. And then I'm going to have free throw percentage. That's how I'm measuring my dependent variable, go in the dependent variable column, right? You don't want to just say free throw shooting. You're going to be putting numbers here. You want to know what like that 50 or that 70 means. Oh, it's the free throw percentage, right? That being said, I'm also really going to highlight, make sure that you include the units that you're putting the numbers in. This also makes your job easier. So instead of saying like 50%, 80% each time and having to write the percentage sign, if you put it here, you don't have to put it anywhere else, and you know that every number is a percentage. All right, so now we've defined our variables. Now what we're going to do is we're going to really start to break down our independent variable here. So I have two conditions before shooting. Right, so what I want to do is, instead of just having this one space right here, let's cut it in half. And on the top cell, I'll say rest. So this is just rest before shooting, and then this is going to be the fatigue, the running 2 miles under 13 minutes before shooting. All right. So then we're going to expand our dependent variable on the next slide. So same exact table that I just ended with, all right? But instead of maybe just doing this experiment once, all right, I want to make sure that I'm doing multiple trials to really make sure that I'm getting a lot of data points that gets me the most accurate and precise answer to my question. So I might do one trial, I might do 2 trials. I would likely want to do at least 3 or more trials. So I'm going to do 3 trials in this instance. And if that's the case, well, I'm going to have a different number for each trial of being at rest, and then a different number for each trial after running 2 miles. All right? Now, there's going to be a lot of numbers here. And so what I want to do at the end of the day is to be able to very simply answer my question. Right? So just really compare the 2 groups, have 2 numbers for each group. So what I could do is I could take the average for my trial, and then when I finally interpret my data, when I finally make a graph or form a conclusion, that conclusion is going to be based on the average right here. Now, our table looks pretty good, but the thing you always want to make sure that you also have is a title. All right? I like to just have the title or almost the statement of what the question is for the experiment. So the question is, does fatigue affect free throw shooting? So for the title, I said the effect of fatigue on free throw shooting. So thanks for watching this video on constructing a data table.